Hello everybody of the United Virtual Airlines. My name is Brahim Hassan. I am a virtual pilot, newly joined United Virtual Airline. Today I'm flying the Flight Review A flight from Washington Dallas Airport. I'm using Flight Simulator X Steam Edition, and I am using Flight PM Washington Dallas Scenery and some add-ons like GSX. Today my aircraft is located at gate Charlie 11, and we already requesting for catering service, and the left forward door is open with the jetway attached. We will call our co-pilot to do walk around the aircraft, and we will go inside the cockpit to start the cockpit preparation. Something else, I want to apologize for my horrible English accent, as I'm not English native speaker, but I will try to make it as clear as possible. Now we are in the cockpit. As you can see, the cockpit is in cold and dark state, and we're going to start our aircraft. Now we will turn our batteries on, and emergency lights will make it on, and we will go to request the ground services. And we will start the external GPU power. We will set now the nav lights to steady, and I was making sure that the card is connected. Now it's connected. Now let's go up again and start to light up the aircraft. Make also Windows heat on, and make the ADRS to nav. Let's complete lighting up the cabin. Okay, now we will go to our FMC to open our doors. We will open both these doors for the catering service to start, and we will go to set our payload and our fuel. This flight plan was done by United Virtual Planner on the website, and it gives me for 2 hours flight, which is required, about 18,743 pounds, and it gives me also for 80% payload zero fuel weight of 127,000 pounds. Now we put our zero fuel weight 127,000 pounds. We will see here the aircraft passengers are nearly 80% of the passengers. Okay, and it gives us also center of gravity about 19.9. we will see here the fuel. The fuel will put fuel 18,743 18,743 pounds. Now we put our fuel and we put our payload according to the flight plan. We'll go to now to the FMC to set our FMC. We see here that we are using the latest ARAC with ARAC 1604, valid until April 27. We will make now the position initialization. We are located in Kilo India Alpha Delta, Washington Dallas, and that is the coordinates of Washington Dallas. Let's check now from the GPS. Is GPS location is the same or not, is matching or not. We see here that the coordinates are nearly the same, north 3856, west 0772, and the Washington Dallas coordinates are nearly the same. So we are going to put this GPS location here to start initialization of a position. Now we are going to put our route. Our origin will be Washington Dallas, and our destination will be also Washington Dallas, and flight number will be United Alpha Lima United 9884, which is my ID. Runway is 19 left, and we are going to set now the departure and the arrival runways. We are going to depart from 19 left, and we are going to arrive on the same runway, which is 19 left. We are not going to use any SIDS or stars, and we will use ILS approach for 19 left. Now let's activate our route, activate and execute. Now we'll go to our preferences, performance initialization. In our performance we set our zero fuel weight to 127,000 pounds. We put it here. It gives us gross weight about 145.9 pounds gross weight, and we will put our reserve as 4,000 pounds, and we will use 6,000 feet as a cruise altitude, and we will use cost index 50. Also our transition altitude is set 18,000, is correct, and we are finished from this page. We will execute now and go to N1 limitation. N1 limitation, we will take off toga and no assumed temperature or derated takeoff, and we are going to climb normal climb. Now we'll go to takeoff page. As per the plan, we will take off on flaps 5, and we will take off on V1135 according to the plan, which is near to the FMC prediction, and V rotate will be 138, and the V2 will be 147. Now we will check our center of gravity to get our trim here in the payload. Now the center of gravity is 24.7. So we will write here 24.7, and it gives us trim 4.75. We will set the trim for now. $4.75. Now it's 4.71, near to 4.75. And now our co-pilot is here. The GSX asked us to close the doors. We will close the doors for the catering. Catering finished. And our autopilot finished walk around now, and our cockpit is nearly prepared. And we will do now the pre-flight briefing. Okay, are you ready for pre-flight briefing? Okay, this will be a rolling takeoff with flaps set to 5 from runway 19 left. We will abort for any reason below 80 knots. After 80 knots, we will abort for engine fire, engine failure, or failure to maintain directional control. After V1, which is 135 knots, we will handle it as in-flight emergency and continue takeoff roll. Memory items will be as required, and hold all checklists till we are above 1,500 feet above ground level. If we have to return, we will request left downwind for 19 left, and the pattern altitude will be 3,000 feet. Departure instructions that we will maintain runway heading, which is 191 degrees till 6,000 feet. Then we will turn right heading 280 till crossing 235 radial outbound Alpha Mike Lima, which has frequency 113.5. Then we will turn right heading 010, and we will maintain speed 240 knots till passing the runway. Then we will reduce our speed to 210 knots. We are expected to take off from 19 left, so our taxi ways to 19 left from Charlie 11 will be taxiways Delta and Kilo, and we will hold short Joliet 1. Today the weather is calm and the altimeter is 29902. And our gross weight is 145,000 pounds, and as we said, our fuel is 18,743 pounds. Now this pre-flight briefing is complete. Okay, now we will call for the passenger for boarding. We will set no smoking signs on and seatbelt signs on, and we request now for boarding. We will start our APU as well. And we will go to open the cargo doors to start loading packages. Okay, we're back to cockpit now. Let's complete our cockpit preparation. Circulation fans are on, and isolation valve is closed, and you will set yaw damper on. Now the APU is near to, now it's running. We will start APU generators and start APU bleed, and we will start boot packs on auto. We will also set cruise altitude to 6,000 and the landing altitude to 300 feet at the runway elevation 312. We will set our autopilot. Speed here will be V2 147 knots, and the heading will be 191 runway heading, as we mentioned before, and the initial altitude is a cruising altitude 6,000 feet. We have here altimeter set to 902, and we will make the radio altimeter to 200. It's 200 already. Now this is the baro. We'll make it 200. The decision height for the ILS. This is a short flight, and we will configure our cockpit before flight to save time. Okay, now flight directors will be on. And we will open VOR2 and VOR2 here, and we will set the course to 235 for the Alpha Mikey Lima VOR. And we want to disconnect all ground services. Let's make sure the ground, yes, parking brakes are on. Now we can disconnect all ground services, and boarding of passengers is completed, so we will disconnect the jetway, and we will close the passenger door. Now only the cargo door is open, and we will close it once the cargo is completed. Now the cargo is completed. We will close the cargo doors. Now all doors are closed. Let's check again. Yes, all doors are closed. Okay, we have 235 here, and we will put course here on 191, which is the ILS course. And we will go down to the radio panel to set our radio to 122.8. This is a Unicom radio, because now there is no controller and we are flying offline. And we will set our transponder to 2200. This is IFR uncontrolled flight. We are also going to set our landing runway, which is length 1,500 feet. And elevation will be 321 feet. Now it's set. Okay, it seems everything is okay. Okay, now let's start the pre-flight checklist. Pre-flight before start checklist. Departure briefing completed. FMC and radios program set and verified. And ADRU IRS set to nav and aligned. Hydraulic pumps. Hydraulic A pump set. Hydraulic A pump set off and hydraulic B set on. Fuel panel. We have fuel pumps are on with cross feeds off. Now we have the central tanks. We have some fuel in the central tanks, so the central tanks will be on also. Okay. Cross feed is closed. Fuel quantity we have on board now 18.7 thousand pounds. Cross checked. Cabin signs are on, and hydraulic quantities is normal. Is now normal. We have 100% in the hydraulic A and A98 is in hydraulic B. Oil quantity is normal. Oxygen check complete. Windows heats are on. Pressurization mode selector auto. Yes, auto. Altimeters is set to 90902. Start levers cut off, and parking brakes set, and pressure is normal. Gross weight is checked, 145,000 pounds. Airspeed bags are set. We have V1 135, V2 138, and V rotate 138, and V2 147. Trim is set 475. Doors are closed. Nav and vehicle lights. Nav lights are on and vehicle lights are on. Cabin preparation is complete and the cars initiated and connected. Okay, now let's start our pushback. We request pushback with nose to the left. We set the VNAV and select heading select, and we put auto throttle into armed. Now before start, let's close the backs. The BU bleed is on, and it's okay now to start the engines. Okay, parking brakes are released. Okay, we'll start engine 2. Engine 2 now stabilized. We'll start number 1. So parking brakes are set. We'll put here in nav2 frequency 113.5. This is your frequency. Now engine 1 is stabilized also. We'll put them on continuous and we will start generator 1 and generator 2. We will shut down APU bleed and start bleed 1 and bleed 2, and now we can put back to auto, and we can now disconnect the APU, and hydraulics A is on, Betot heat is on. We will put our flaps into takeoff settings 5, and we will make auto brakes RTO. And now let's start our checklist. My source of the checklist is a checklist done by the United Virtual Airline. Before takeoff checklist, flaps set to 5. Okay, it has green light. Control checks. Okay, we have now full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudders full left, full right, neutral. Okay, and now flight controls are okay. Now we have VNAV is armed and heading select is armed. Generators both on, Betot heat is on, engine anti-ice as required, and according to the temperature now it's 14 Celsius, so no need for the anti-ice. Trims are set. FMC and radios are programmed, set for departure. GBWS set for train and weather. We will do this on the runway. And now we will start our taxi lights and start our taxi. Parking brakes is off, and starting taxi. We will start taxi with speed less than 20 knots as per flight operating manual. We are now taxiing as mentioned before via Delta. Then we will take left Kilo, and by the end of left Kilo, we will hold short Joliet 1. Okay, we are crossing now taxiway Lima for taxiway Kilo. We are now on taxiway Kilo. By the end of this taxiway, the runway on the right side now, and by the end of this taxiway we will turn right to hold short Joliet 1. Let's be centered on the taxiway. Now the next right turn is Joliet 1. Okay, we will hold short here and do our before takeoff checklist. Now taxi lights are off, landing lights on, strobe lights on, packs are off for now for takeoff, and transponder set TARA, and we have our weather reader here on and terrain reader on here. Okay, let's do our checklist. GBWS, we have weather radar on and terrain radar on. Thrust is, we will set it to toga, and MCB is okay. Start switches to continuous. Let's check. Yes, both are on continuous. Speed brakes retracted. And final items, we have cabin notification. We notified the cabin already. And transponder set to FR-A, auto brakes set to auto throttle set to armed, and backs and engine bleeds are set, and master caution recalled cancel. Okay, and landing strobe lights are on. Now we will take some screenshots here because it's needed. It's a good view. Let's have screenshots. Another one. Another one here. Another screenshot here. Okay, and now we are ready to line up. Let's have a look. No incoming traffic. We're lining up the runway now. Okay, are we ready for takeoff? Okay, engine set 40%. Engines stable, toga. $80 knots. V1 rotates. Positive climb, gears up. Gears are up, lights off. Now we will set autopilot on. You'll select heading select. And we'll make auto brakes to off and the landing gears to off. Now we reach the acceleration altitude. flaps 2, flaps 1, and now we're clear for flaps up. And we will start after takeoff checklist. Landing gears are up, flaps up, backs and engine bleeds. We'll set backs again. And we have here some the fuel in the central tanks are finished, so we will close the central tanks. And air conditioning pressurization set and confirmed. Altimeter set to 99902. Beacon switches are start switches are off. And landing lights still on, but we will close runway lights because we will still under 10,000 feet. Now we are at 6,000. We will turn right heading 280 as planned. Now we should turn off the seatbelt signs, but actually this is a small short flight, that's why we'll keep it on. We will keep flying till we cross the radial of 235 of Alpha Mike Lima. Can turn this view to the VOR view. Yes, you can watch the establish of the radial from here better. And let's set our ILS frequency. We have enough time to set it. 110.1. And we will make it active. Okay, we are near now to establish. Then we will turn right heading 010. We are crossing the radial now. Let's turn right heading 010. Once we pass the runway, we will start our approach. We will keep now for speed 240, heading 010, and can you see the airport from here? Yes, the airport is there. Once we pass the airport, we will start our approach. We still didn't pass the airport. Actually, the airport is here, and we are here. Once we pass the airport, we will start our descent. We just now bypass the runway, so we can reduce our speed to 210 knots. And we can start our descent now to flight to 3000 feet, which is approach altitude. Now we'll start our approach. Here our VRF speed is 141 knots for flaps 40 is set. And let's check our approach checklist. Approach briefing, okay, complete. We are estimated to land on runway 19 left. We will have ILS approach, and our altitude to localize is 3,000 feet. We have calm winds, and we have altimeter 29902, and our decision height is 200, and it's set already. And our landing flaps will be 40, and our VRF will be 141. Our auto brakes set to 2, and there is no traffic consideration or terrain considerations. Runway exit plans, we will exit to the right, and we will taxi to the same gate of departure, gate Charlie 11. Okay, now our briefing is complete, approach briefing. FMC and radio are set, and master caution recall cancelled, nothing. GWS terrain and weather are okay, airspeed flaps are okay, auto brakes are set, altimeter is set to 90902, landing lights is on, and start switches will put it to continuous. And approach checklist complete. Now we will turn right heading 100. For our base. We are reaching 3,000 feet. We will start to reduce our speed to 180 knots, and we will start to set the flaps according to speed. Now flaps 1. Flaps 2. Speed check flaps 2. And flaps 5. Speed check flaps 5. Now we will turn right heading 160 to intercept the localizer. Now we have localizer live. And localizer established. We have glide slope alive. And localizer established. Now we'll put gears down and we will set our speed to approach speed 141. And we are now opening speed opening flaps according to our speed. Ground spoilers armed, and let's go to before landing checklist. Cabin notification is completed, landing gears are down or green, speed brakes are armed, flaps set to full, missed approach altitude 3000 feet is set, and we will, if we have missed approach, we will climb to 800, then climb left to left turn to 3000 via heading 010, and AML radial 040 to asper and hold. And before landing, checklist complete. Okay, now we will disconnect the auto throttle and the autopilot, and the aircraft now under fully manual control. We will follow the glide slope. We're a little lower. Okay, we'll continue. We are on minimums. Flare up at 30, and we have throttle off. Touchdown, reverse, $70 knots, idle thrust, $40 knots, manual brakes. It was a slightly long landing, but it was okay. We'll exit the runway. And we will do after landing checklist. Now we will do after landing checklist. After landing checklist, flaps are up, speed brakes retracted, landing strobe lights off, transponder we set it to standby, start levers are off, and APU started. Okay, we're going to taxi now via Lima and Delta to stand Charlie 22. You're going to request from the ground services Charlie 22, Charlie 11, excuse me, Charlie 11. No, we don't read. Follow me. Okay. It was a long landing, that's why it will be a long taxi. Okay, we will turn now to the left on Delta Taxiway. I think I'm a little fast. Let's use some brakes. Okay, we'll turn here to any gate. Charlie 17 is okay. It was a very long taxi. Okay, parking brake set. And landing lights is off. AB generators are on. Engine bleeds are off. APU bleed is on. And we are now safe to shut down engines. Engines shut down. And beacon lights is off, and we will turn off fuel pumps, turn off hydraulics, and turn off light heat, and we will go to parking checklist. Parking brakes are set. APU ground power is required. We have APU now. Start levers cut off. Fuel flow 0. Transponder standby. Emergency lights is off, and beacon lights off. Fuel pumps are off. Anti-ice windows heat are off. And cars will end now. Hydraulic pumps are off. ADURS is off. Now we finished our flight safely, and we hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that it's a satisfactory video for the supervisors of the virtual. Thank you very much, and see you in next videos. Bye bye.